Coming up, join personal trainer Morgan Shapiro for a workout tailored just for you, ladies. Then, SoFlo H2O host Olivia Ray joins us for a body composition scan to find out what makes up a healthy woman's body. We'll learn more about women's hair loss, work-life balance, and mommy makeovers. I'm sensing a theme here. Nonetheless, all that and more is today on SoFlo Health. Hello and welcome to SoFlo Health. I'm Hunter Franke and I'm at Bonnet House Museum and Gardens in Fort Lauderdale. And I'm not just here to celebrate Old Florida, although Old Florida is definitely worth celebrating. We're actually going to be talking about women's health today. So ladies, this episode is for you. We're also going to talk about some of the extraordinary women of South Florida that make it a better place. And we'll get into why Bonnet House has to do with that a little later on in the show. First, I'm going to join SoFlo H2O host Olivia Ray to find out at least one aspect that makes women unique. These days, people treat all health the same no matter what.
And, that's okay for the most part.
Yeah, but there are some differences between men and women's health.
Exactly, and that's why we are here today at the Infinity Sports Institute, and I'm going to meet up with Madison to see what makes a difference for the ladies.
Yep, and next week, we'll do the guys.
Okay, so we are here with Madison, who is here at the Sports Institute, and you are the Director of Nutrition here.
Yes, I am. I'm a registered dietitian, and I'm Director of Nutrition here at Infinity Sports Institute.
Okay, perfect. And one of the things you guys are going to put us through is this DEXA scan here today. And so what am I going to learn about my body when it comes to this piece of equipment?
So the DEXA scan is a lot more than just a scale. Yes, we are going to weigh you, but we're going to get to see muscle mass, the distribution of muscle mass. We'll get to see fat mass, so subcutaneous, the part that we can grab, and then visceral, the fat around the organs, and we'll also get to see bone mass as well.
So a lot more than meets the eye. Kind of like what you were saying before, is it's not just always about stepping on a scale.
Exactly. We want to see where those numbers are coming from, because you can lose weight, but we want to know that that's fat and not muscle.
I am definitely interested to see my results because I've never been on a piece of equipment like this.
Yeah, let's get you over to Victor. He'll take your weight and your height, and then we can get the results rolling.
All right, thank you.
Awesome.
Okay, so Madison, I just finished my first time on the DEXA scan, so obviously I haven't been through that process before, and it's a lot different when it comes to men and women. That's kind of one of the things that we're talking about, especially on this show. So for someone like me trying it out for the first time, what is something that I'm gonna see, that could be different than a man?
The body fat percentage. It is a low-grade X-ray, so the margin of error is a lot lower than we would see on things like an in-body or the ones that you hold in front of you.
What is kind of, the plan that you guys take when it does come to a specific person, based on, the fat percentage, whether it's visceral or not?
Just overall health. So if your scores look great and your blood work looks great and you don't want to be in a smaller body, there's no reason for me to tell you that you need to lose fat if it's healthy for your individual body type and body size. But if your goal is to lean up a little bit, to lose some fat, to replace it with muscle, then by all means, let's go on a course of action that gets you there and helps you sustain that place.
Are there any changes that, come, as we are going through hormones, and especially, in specific times of the month for women, like their bodies are different in that point of time. So Are there different things that you're able to, help women with through that process?
Oh, for sure, yeah. We've had multiple women come in here with PCOS who haven't had a menstrual cycle in years, and really just finding out where you want to go, taking tests, and then figuring out a plan with your whole team of experts on how to get there.
All right, perfect. Well, I appreciate you talking with us today. If people want to find out more information about y'all and what you guys do here, where can they go to find that information?
If they want to find out more about us, they can go onto Instagram at _ISP_, or they could come in here at Infinity Sports Institute. We're located at 163 Northeast 24th Street here in Miami.
All right, well, I appreciate you talking with us today.
Thank you so much. It's been a pleasure.
Bonnet House Museum and Gardens is part museum, part-time capsule, and part celebration of Evelyn Bartlett, who for over 60 years curated this wonderful collection of art and furniture that you can now enjoy. And there she is, Evelyn Bartlett herself, in a formal portrait painted by her husband, Frederick. And talk about SoFlo Health. She lived to the ripe old age of 109. And she even spent her winters here at Bonnet House up until the 1990s. And before it was Bonnet House Museum and Gardens, it was just Evelyn's house. Now, it's time to meet another exceptional South Florida woman, except her art is edible and healthy. But this is SoFlo Health after all, so let's see what the chef does to get ready to cook. Have you heard of Finca Table and Tap? How about Amelia's 1931? They're both run by Chef Eileen Andrade. She is a powerhouse chef and a healthy person here in South Florida. So for this women's show, we want to show you that you can do both. Have an excellent business and an excellent workout to take care of your health. The workout's beginning. I'll see you in a second. It's post-workout now with Chef Eileen. And Eileen, I gotta say, it's hot outside.
A little bit.
But that was a good workout. You do that all the time?
I do it twice a week.
Twice a week?
Twice a week, yeah. So I try to get another workout in by myself, but it's not as rigorous as this one.
Yeah, it's different when a trainer's with you, like, all right, come on. You know, keep your hips square, make sure you're not, cheating here. It's definitely a different feel. Now, tell me, why do you think it's an important thing to get these workouts in despite your busy schedule as a popular chef here in South Florida?
For me, it's a physical thing and a mental thing. It definitely just energizes me. If I don't get my workouts in, I'm just not the same Eileen. So.
Well, what are your favorite type of workouts? Is it usually something like this, like a boot camp?
Yeah, definitely a HIIT workout.
Okay.
It keeps it fun. It's fast paced, and it just kind of you forget about the time, and you just kind of get through it faster.
You know, for other women out there that have busy and demanding lifestyles and they haven't made the time to work out, what would you say to them?
A lot of times we have excuses, we're tired, we're busy, but there's always 30 minutes in your day that you can get your body moving.
What results have you seen in your health and in your business life since doing that?
I think I just have more endurance.
Yeah.
I don't get tired as often, and obviously physically I can tell that my body has changed. There was a period where I wasn't working out as much, and as soon as I got back into it, within 3 months, I can see the big change.
Well, was there like something that made you make that shift, or you just kind of said like, hey, it's time to do it?
I think after I stuck to it for like a very long time and I saw my body change, that's when I was like, okay, this is something I have to maintain. Maybe I'm not ever going to be the skinniest person, but I think my body can maintain itself, and that makes me happy.
Yeah, well, you can't trust a chef that's too skinny. You know, like, I feel like that's a real thing. You know,
I have to get one of those shirts that say "Never trust a skinny chef."
Never trust a skinny chef. Exactly. Well, that's great. Well, thank you for sharing your workout with us. What we're gonna do is get cleaned up from all the sweatiness, and we're gonna meet you over at Amelia's 1931. Before we get there, what are we gonna see when we get there?
We're gonna be doing a wok-seared bok choy. It's something that you can make at home, pretty easy, simple ingredients, and it's got great texture and great flavor.
Well, you heard it here first, ladies and germs. We're gonna head over and continue with our show on women's health. But guys, you can stick around for some health tips as well. And we'll see you at Amelia's 1931 when we come back. We continue our conversation with Chef Andrade, our tour of Bonnet House, and find out what you need to know before cosmetic surgery when SoFlo Health returns. Welcome back to SoFlo Health. I'm Hunter Frankie, and we're continuing our women's health episode. We've been doing that here from Bonnet House Museum and Gardens. I'm now in the kitchen, which is actually the only room here that has been restored to look like it was in the 1900s, the early 1900s, because Evelyn Bartlett, one of the great women of South Florida, actually still wintered here until the early 90s. And this was a working kitchen, so she had a modern stove, refrigerator, the whole nine. But they've restored it to look something like it was in the early 1900s. And it's actually perfect that we're in the kitchen because earlier we were with Chef Andrade and she showed us her workout, but now it's time to eat. Welcome back to SoFlo Health. I'm Hunter Frankie. I'm still joined by Chef Eileen. Earlier we got a workout in, but now we're at Amelia's 1931. Chef, tell me about Amelia's 1931.
So we are rebranding. We opened up as a diner, and now we are a fine dining restaurant with a full bar. We have 150 seats, and we're just really excited to bring this concept to West Kendall.
Yes, and this is just your latest restaurant. You have a few others as well, correct?
Yes, we have Finca Table and Tap, which we opened up 9 years ago, and next month will be 9 years. and Barbacoa by Finca, located in Doral.
Excellent. And how do you balance what you're doing earlier, your healthy lifestyle, with running a restaurant like this?
Well, for me, it's very important to get 2 to 3 workouts a week in. It helps me physically, it helps me mentally, and I think, getting it hour to hour and a half workout 3 times a week just helps with my endurance in the restaurant. I'm on my feet all day, so it just kind of keeps the momentum going, and I feel great after a workout.
We do like to get the workouts in.
Yes.
So this show is all about women's health today. Do you have any advice to women out there who are looking to be successful like yourself, but also maintain that healthy work-life balance and take care of their health?
You said it. It's about balance. You can't eat the perfect meal every day, but I try to at least, if I can make a conscious decision, I try to make that conscious decision. Protein, carbs, kind of balancing it all out and not overdoing anything. My mom always says, everything in moderation, nothing to the extreme, and I take that in work and in my health as well.
That's great. What are we going to enjoy today that you're going to make for us?
We are going to be doing a wok-seared baby bok choy, and I'm going to make a kimchi broth.
All right, well, how about I'll meet you back in the kitchen and we get to
do it.
tasting that food.
Let's do it.
Excellent. This is very exciting. I loved all the ingredients. You didn't see me, but I was right off camera salivating. I'll take this one here. Whoops, making a little bit of mess. I'll get in here. And what I think is perfect about this is it's probably gonna be delicious. Let me taste it first. Oh yeah. Excellent. Packed full of flavor. A little spice. A lot of spice. But what I love about this is if you have your normal chicken and rice, something simple you're cooking at home, this didn't take a lot of time to put together. It's packed full of flavor, so if you do have a bland meal that's just easy to get your protein, your carbs, and whatever healthy meal you're trying to make in, you can add this to it and adds a huge amount of flavor for not a lot of time invested. So I gotta say that everything we've seen here with Chef today is excellent, from the workout, the restaurant, the food. I couldn't be happier. Do you recognize Dr. Palladino? Well, if you do, that's because you saw us at Las Olas Med Spa last time, which falls under Top Aesthetics, where we are today. Doctor, thanks for joining us again.
Thank you very much.
Certainly. And tell me, what does this have to do with what you have going on at Las Olas Med Spa?
Las Olas Med Spa is where we provide the services for non-surgical or minimal invasive procedures. And Top Aesthetics is where we provide the larger procedures, the surgical portion of it.
And what are we talking about today?
Body contouring.
And what is that?
Yeah, so it's a big group of procedures that we perform on the body once the body undergoes certain changes that are usually related to weight variations.
So these procedures can be something for strictly cosmetic purposes or to aid in the process of your body recovering from something you've gone through.
Absolutely. And let's take, for example, the tummy tucks. Actually, what happens with the pregnancy, sometimes your muscles don't recoil back to where it's supposed to be. And the muscles in the abdomen actually provide support for your spine. So although we are improving the cosmetic aspect of your abdomen, we are also improving the support for your spine and improve, for example, back pain.
Some people may be nervous about this kind of thing. What can you tell them?
Oh my God, that's why at Top Aesthetics we have built a concierge service where we take care of everything, the pre-op, the operative, and the post-op. We keep the patients in a hotel, we provide the massages for them, and we provide the post-operative care. And we transport the patients back and forth to the clinic whenever we need to.
Wow. Well, if someone would like to find out more, how can they?
So, topaesthetics.com. They can also, through that, get access to our YouTube channel, which is extremely important. It has tons of videos for information. They can interact with us in our social media platforms, and then also they can also start interacting with our chatbot.
Excellent. Well, there's plenty of ways to learn. Doctor, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you very much.
Of course. Yep.
Pleasure.
Come right back. Personal trainer Morgan Shapiro brings a workout just for the ladies, and we'll find out how women can have a fuller head of hair after the break on SoFlo Health. Welcome back to SoFlo Health. I'm Hunter Franke, and we are continuing our special Women's Health episode. Today, I'm at Bonnet House Museum and Gardens, which again is curated by one of the great women of South Florida, Evelyn Bartlett. And speaking of great women of South Florida, next up is certified personal trainer Morgan Shapiro, who has helped curate the fitness here on SoFlo Health. Here Morgan is with a workout just for you, ladies. Welcome back to SoFlo Health. I'm Hunter Franke. This episode is all about women's health, so I really have no reason being here. So I'll leave you in the capable hands of the Shapiro sisters. This is Morgan Shapiro, personal trainer of SoFlo Health, and this is Jackie Shapiro, sister of Morgan Shapiro. I'm gonna get out of the way. I'm Hunter Franke, and I'll see you later.
Thanks, Hunter. All right, ladies, now that it's just us, let's talk about the question and the request that I get the most from all of my female clients, that hourglass figure. Now, a lot of women think you achieve that by doing excessive cardio, really working your core, and doing some work on the glutes. But the real way to achieve that hourglass figure is to build the lats, your upper back, to really build your glutes with some heavy weight and a little core training and some isolation work at the same time. So I'm gonna go through and show you guys some exercises you can do to achieve that. Are you ready, Jackie?
Let's do it.
Let's do it, girl. So today we're going to do the lat pull down. You're gonna grab up overhead, Jackie. We've adjusted it to where the top of the bench is right with her knees, perfect. And now you're gonna bring it down right there, slow on the way up. So we're working these muscles right here, the lats. The more you grow these muscles, the more of the illusion of a smaller waist you're gonna have. So when you're trying to achieve that hourglass figure, I really want you to focus on building the lat muscles. If you're not a fan of this exercise, some other variations you can do is the dumbbell pullover, half kneeling lat pull down. The pull up is a great one. Anything that's really gonna work these muscles. How are you feeling, Jack?
Ooh, I'm feeling it.
Oh, you can bring it back. Very good, you're feeling these muscles activate right there.
Oh, yeah.
Now we are going to move on to the glutes. When working to build that hourglass shape, it's all about lifting heavy on those compound movements. So we're doing the barbell hip thrust right here. Jackie has her feet shoulder width apart. She is thrusting all the way up, keeping the neck in line with the spine. Are you feeling any of your glutes, Jack?
I sure am.
Yeah, so this isn't just a banded exercise, although that is great. If you really want to achieve that hourglass figure, you have to work the glutes and you have to train them heavy. If the barbell hip thrust is not for you, you can go ahead and do the banded hip thrust. You can do some glute accessory work such as clamshells, banded abduction, cable kickback. But the moral of the story here, guys, if you want to achieve that hourglass figure, you have to build the lats. You have to build the glutes. You have to lift heavy and make sure your nutrition is on point. So thank you so much for joining me, ladies. I hope you guys get in the gym, lift those weights, and work to achieve that figure you're all working so hard for.
Evelyn was a collector of many great works, including this Wedgwood and Spode dinnerware behind me. They feature tropical themes, which is why she chose them. For example, if you look at the Spode, you'll see palm trees on it, and we like that. Someone else with excellent taste is Monica Moreno, both literally and figuratively. She's a nutritionist and entrepreneur that is another great woman of South Florida, and she's helped us many times here on SoFlo Health. Did you know that pretty much everything in your body is affected by what you eat? Even your hair. Although not commonly spoken about, 40% of women deal with hair loss. Now, men are more commonly talking about hair loss, and it's a little more obvious with them. But women also experience hair loss, and fortunately, it's something that's very treatable and has a lot to do with their health. So we're here at Miami Hair Institute to meet with Dr. Nussbaum to find out more. Let's go meet him. This is Dr. Nussbaum of Miami Hair Institute. Doctor, thank you so much for being with us.
Great to be here, Hunter. Thanks for having me.
Of course. Now let's talk about hair loss in women. We hear about it with men quite a bit. They deal with it a lot. But do women deal with hair loss?
With approximately 40% of women experiencing pattern hair loss by the age of 50, and that number only increases with age. Unlike men, women do not go bald. They just gradually thin throughout the top of the scalp, and the majority of them are treated medically because the thinning hair can often be reversed.
Really?
Absolutely.
So what does that mean for the patient? How do you treat it medically?
So the first thing, I think it's important to talk about the causes of hair loss in women. And while in men it's mostly genetics, we know that in women there are other factors that can play a role, particularly hormonal imbalances such as thyroid disorders, postmenopausal state, or birth control pills, and especially certain vitamin and mineral deficiencies such as low iron or vitamin D.
I had female androgenetic alopecia, and it was affecting my overall self-esteem. I was having hair loss issues in the frontal area, and it was also going through the part. And I wanted to fill it in so that I didn't have to worry about going to the beach, going to the pool, you know, the things that we do here in Miami. I was steered in this direction when I first started getting really bothered with my hair loss, and I'm so grateful I did. They took my concerns very seriously, and they walked me through the whole process so that I figured out what I was able to do and what I couldn't.
We always want to correct any underlying causes, but once those have been dealt with, we sort of look towards several different medical therapy options, which have shown to have great success in the case of reversing thinning hair in women.
And what sort of results can women achieve?
Typically, we're able to get a 25% improvement in hair density, which is significant in terms of visualizing the hair loss and having a noticeable improvement, and basically giving women more coverage of their scalp.
Wow. And I'm sure, as you said before, with the psychological effects, that's a great relief.
Absolutely. I think it's important for women to realize that not all hair loss is permanent. Certainly after things like a severe stressful event, physically or emotionally, a COVID infection, a severe illness, women can experience an increase in their hair shedding, but oftentimes those types of hair shedding conditions will resolve on their own, so they may not be anything to worry about. Nevertheless, we're here to help, and we'd be happy to evaluate you in person if you're concerned about any of these issues.
Excellent. Well, doctor, thank you so much for your time.
Absolutely.
You got it. Welcome back to SoFlo Health. I'm Hunter Frankie, and we're wrapping up our show celebrating women's health and the notable women of South Florida. And no show on women's health and notable women would be complete without mentioning Julia Tuttle. And she's not just the Causeway Lady, she's actually known as the mother of Miami, because without Julia Tuttle, we wouldn't have the land that made Miami what we know it today. So without Julia Tuttle, there's no SoFlo or SoFlo Health for that matter. So thanks, Julia. We appreciate it. And that's all we have for this week's episode of SoFlo Health. Thank you so much for watching. As always, if you want to watch previous episodes of SoFlo Health, you can on SoFloShows.com. You can also follow us using @SoFlo Health to share with us what you're doing to stay healthy. Until next week, it's goodbye and good health. Saturdays may be for the boys, but next week on SoFlo Health, it's a Sunday for the boys. Join us for a men's health episode to find out how to reach the weight you want, eat the food you love, and keep the hair on your head. It's all next week on SoFlo Health, and we'll see you then.